to new adventure!
Alright, so no theme song for the first episode, but you will notice immediately that there is a new art style with Pokemon going forward. Now they have a more cartoony aesthetic. And I'll admit, at first I didn't like it, but there is a reason that it is like this, and I'll get into it later. For now, let's look at the first episode of this season. It's alright. Ash, Pikachu, and Mom are on vacation for reals this time, because instead of America like last time, they are in the tropical region of Alola, specifically the island of Melee. They are there because Mimey won them a trip there in a contest. You remember Mimey, right? The Mr. Mime they own. It's been literally 900 episodes since I've mentioned him, so I know you remember him. While they are there, Oak asks them to deliver a Pokemon egg to his cousin, and on the way there, Ash, while being distracted by all the new Pokemon of the region, he sees a girl named Lillie, who he learns is afraid of Pokemon for some reason. He then arrives at the Pokemon School. That's what it's called. It doesn't have a name, I think. I think they just call it the Pokemon School. There he meets Mallow, a trainer studying there, who takes him to Oak's cousin Samson, who is the principal, and the egg is safely delivered. Afterward, he meets Professor Kukui, the teacher and professor of the region. That's when they notice a fight going on outside. Another student, Kiawe, is up against a group called Team Skull, and Ash joins the battle to even the odds. That's when Ash sees Kiawe use a special technique called a Z-move, which lets his Turtonator unleash a powerful attack. Afterward, Ash again sees a legendary Pokemon, Tapu Koko, the guardian of Melee Island. Later that day, Ash is given a Z-ring by Tapu Koko, and then it just cuts to some time later, and now Ash is staying in the Alola region, living with Professor Kukui, and his mom's back home. Okay, how did that happen? Who cares? Pokemon. So yeah, a lot of information and setup for future things are done in this episode, like most other season premieres. And yes, if you're wondering, this is the first time Ash is not really going on a journey, per se. He stays in one location for its entirety, basically on this island. Yeah, there's no gyms, no journey, no traveling companions. Instead, this season of Pokemon takes more of a slice-of-life approach with episodes, not building up to some big final tournament. It's more just Ash's adventures in Alola. There will be a final tournament, though. I mean, don't get crazy. And honestly, I am all for this approach. I was getting so sick and tired of the typical formula that started going stale in Black and White and really petered out for me in X and Y. This is what I need. And you know, I'm one of like the 5 people on Earth that actually like slice-of-life anime. Yes, we do exist. So I am interested to see what direction Pokemon takes with this new genre. I hope it's better than the last 2. Please.
You sure are cute! The Guardians Challenge!
It's Ash's first day at school, and he meets his classmates and their partner Pokemon, some of which he ran into the day before. Mallow and her Bounsweet, Kiawe and his Turtonator, Sophocles and his Togedemaru, Lana and her Poplio, and Lillie and her Nothing. To welcome him, they all challenge Ash to various competitions, and when he is about to face Kukui in a battle, Tapu Koko arrives, wanting to face Pikachu and Ash himself. That's when Ash tries to use his new Z-ring, but the Z-Crystal inside shatters. But it's okay, because Ash can get a new Z-Crystal by doing the Island Challenge, where he takes on various trials to, I guess, just win. Once again, another episode to just kind of set up the rest of the season, introduce us better to Ash's new supporting cast, and the Island Challenge itself. Well, I'll just let you know now, it's not really a focus of the season, the Island Challenge, so, you know, don't get used to hearing about it. This episode, we do hear the new theme under the Alolan sun.
I can't get used to this heat on my skin. I can feel every day I'm a little bit stronger. I only wish each day was longer.
It's okay, but I'm gonna be honest, this is the first time where I will say, hands down, no debate, the Japanese theme Alola is way better. It's so fucking good. Like, it's just got all this liveliness and bounciness to it that just fits this series with its more lighthearted approach to Pokemon, yes, even more than before. It's just such a banger OP, man. Like, it legit might be my actual favorite Japanese opening in the entire Pokemon series. Yeah, I haven't really been talking about the Japanese openings, have I? Or the endings. Well, that's obviously because we've been watching it dubbed, so there's been no reason to talk about it. But I have been listening to them for each season to, you know, get an idea for a comparison of what's going on between the regions. Regions? Oh my god. I really have been watching too much Pokemon where I just called 2 countries regions.
Loading the decks!
Okay, I just realized I forgot to change the picture back there for the last one. Look, that was my one fuck up. I'm pretty sure I've been good about it the whole time, so let's just pretend that didn't happen, alright? You can't even see it with this camera, I can tell. Ash gets his new Pokédex that has a Rotom inside, and...
Lola! Nice to meet you, Ash.
Wow, we can even have a conversation?
Of course. Rotom Dex is equipped with an assortment of languages.
Oh, I hope you don't get annoying. That's when, guess who's back? Back again. It's Rocket, of course, who are now setting up shop in Alola, Jessie, James, and Meowth. They encounter Ash when he's trying to catch a Mimikyu, but to everyone's shock, the Mimikyu sides with Team Rocket due to its relationship with Pikachu. And then a new joke is Team Rocket is constantly being carried off by this Beware for no reason. It just shows up and takes them to its cave randomly. Okay. They also have a new motto, and I love it visually. It looks great, but it's kinda eh.
The beauty so radiant, the flowers and moon hide in shame. A single flower of evil in this fleeting world, Jessie.
I think it takes too long and ends abruptly, like each member, including Meowth, get a whole 2 sentences, only to end with, "We're Team Rocket."
The nobly heroic man of our times, the master of darkness fighting back against a tragic world, it's James!
This one, more than any of them, just feels like, yeah, they made it this long so they can reuse the animation and fill a good chunk of the episode. Again, though, at least it looks neat.
It's all for one and one for all. A glittering dark star that always shines bright. Dig it while Meowth takes flight. Team Rocket, let's fight! That's right! Wah, Buffett!
First catch in Alola, Ketchum style!
Yes, as the episode mentions, Ash catches his first Alolan Pokemon, a Rowlet, who he befriends after helping save its Pick-a-Peck friends from Team Rocket. Jessie also gets her first Alolan Pokemon, the Mimikyu from the last episode. Good for both of them. In Yo Ho Ho Go Poplio, the class goes on a fishing trip, and Lana, being the water expert, shows them the ropes. We also learn how she met Poplio. It's okay. Also, her little sisters are introduced. They're also okay. In a shocking grocery run, when out shopping, Ash runs into Sophocles, and he uses his genius kid skills to save the shopping center from a Team Rocket scheme.
That's why the Litten is a scamp.
Hey man, you took one season off, so now we gotta get back to Ash getting a fire-type starter that has a sad backstory so we can raise it to its full potential. It's my favorite part. That's not sarcasm, I actually like the stories with the fire starters. The Litten in question is going around stealing food, and Ash wants to teach it stealing's wrong, until he finds out it's caring for an old Stoutland, and after sending a bully Alolan Persian packing, Ash tries to bring Pokemon food, but sees they have vanished. Will he ever see them again? Yes.
Lillie's exhilarating challenge!
Alright, my girl. If you've seen me talk about Sun and Moon the games, you know Lillie is one of my favorite Pokemon characters, period, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with her in the anime, because remember, I've never seen anything about it. For this episode, we don't get much with her, it's mostly a lot of foreshadowing. I just realized how dark it is. So remember the egg Oak asked Ash to deliver to Alolan Oak? Well, the class needs someone to take care of it, and Mallow suggests Lillie, who, if you remember, is afraid of Pokemon. She accepts, hoping this will help her get over her fear, and Ash helps her take it to her McMansion. That's when he and we learn that Lillie does not know why she is afraid of Pokemon, and all her butler knows is Lillie went to live with her mother for a while, then after returning, she's been afraid of Pokemon due to this forgotten trauma. Curious. But by the end, she is able to touch the Pokemon egg, which is progress, I guess? And to top a totem, oh yeah, that trial stuff. Well, to help get rid of an infestation of Alolan Raticate and Rattata, Ash does the normal trial to recruit the totem Pokemon Gumshoes to get all the young Goose to help. He wins, getting his Normalium Z, and now he has to face the kahuna of the island, Hala. He then beats him in Trial and Tribulation, a great Phoenix Wright game, and instead of getting the Fightium Z that Ash was supposed to get, Tapu Koko appears again and gives Ash a new Electrium Z for Pikachu. In Young Kiawe Had a Farm, Ash helps Kiawe deliver fresh Moo milk from his farm on Akala Island, that is run by his family, and damn! Kiawe, that's your mom? So, like, your mom and dad, are they happily married, or... In The Sun, the Scare, the Secret Lair, searching for Pokemon to send to Giovanni, Team Rocket come across a Marini that takes a liking to James, making it his newest Pokemon. It looks like this new addition is going to get them their first W over the Twerps, but Beware shows up to rocket nap them again before they can finish it. And realizing they can't escape from it no matter where they go, they decide to make the Bear's Den the new Team Rocket base. Well, they sure are positive.
Racing to a big event!
So, there's this thing called the Pokemon Pancake Race. It's a regular race, just the Pokemon carry plates of pancakes while doing it. Okay. Is this like another hilarious Japanese pun or something that I'm not getting? More importantly, Lillie's egg hatches into an Alolan Vulpix. Hooray!
Getting to know you!
So this episode is building up to more Lillie growth, as everyone thinks the Vulpix should be hers, obviously, since she raised the egg. But, you know, she's got that whole trauma stuff. But after some rocket shenanigans, she leaps in harm's way to save Vulpix and can now touch it, but not other Pokemon. Lillie then officially catches it, nicknaming it Snowy, making it her first Pokemon. Ash isn't the only one living around Kukui's house. There's also a Rockruff that Ash thought was Kukui's, but he doesn't own it. It's just a wild Pokemon that hangs around, and it's been coming back to Kukui's house with a lot of injuries lately. Ash then finds out it's because it's trying to get strong enough to beat a Magmar, and after helping it beat the Hothead, Rockruff becomes Ash's newest Pokemon. And they might not be giants. Rowlet and Poplio get whisked away in one of Poplio's snot levels, I think, don't ask. They then run into Litten as the two try to make it back to their trainers. That's cute. The thing that threw me off were the faces the characters made when the Pokemon left. Like, that's funny, I love it. I just wasn't expecting such a style change for a gag in Pokemon. In Crystal Clear Sleuthing, Ash's Electrium Z is missing, and Detective Rotom is on the case, inspired by his favorite show, Alola Detective. So again, we get a series of fun visual changes as jokes, and this is what I meant about the style change. Honestly, I never cared even when it was announced, as I hadn't watched Pokemon in years, but watching the show now, the simpler and more cartoony art style is great, as it seems it allows the animators to really squash and stretch and go ham on the animation for jokes and battles. You know, it's actually giving me a reason to look at the screen to see what neat animation gag they're doing. It's great.
And so, the culprit of this mystery is you, Kiawe.
No! Kiawe is the culprit?
In a seasoned search, finally Ash's last classmate Mallow gets an episode, where Ash helps her get some yellow nectar so she can make her family restaurant's Alolan stew, and during this her Bounce Suite evolves into a Steenie. No, I don't count this as a cooking episode, but it's still a 9 out of 10. In a Guardian rematch, it was a waste of time. Ash fights Tapu Koko again, loses, and that's the whole episode. Partner promises he meets Tapu Lele, the guardian of Akala Island.
One journey ends, another begins!
So it's another episode with Litten and Stoutland, and it looks like Stoutland's not doing too well. And it seems there's nothing even Nurse Joy can do, but come on, it's Pokemon. We all know that somehow they'll find some way to save the old Pokemon, making it feel better. No way.
Professor, where's Stoutland?
I'm sorry.
They killed the dog? What the fuck? Ash catches the Litten to help it cope with its loss. What the fuck? In a shivering shovel search, the class go to the beach. I'm sorry, I can't get over that they actually let the dog die in Pokemon. I am legit shocked. Like, I was not expecting that. Especially because the tone of the season being more, lighthearted. I just didn't need that whiplash right now. In getting the band back together, Ash and some friends attend the concert of DJ Leo and his Alolan Doug trio. And they haven't been as good since the falling out with Alolan Golem. He was the heart of the band.
The perfect getup, of course. Alola's best detective would never make a wrong choice.
That has nothing to do with this concert.
In Alolan Open House, okay, this is the most non-Pokemon episode in Pokemon so far, where Ash has to give a speech at the school's open house, and his mom is visiting too, and Ash is nervous about it and tries to figure out what he's gonna say. Like, it's not bad, it's a fine episode. It's just, this is, I think, the first time where I could say, like, this could be an episode in any anime, any slice of life anime or whatever, honestly. Pretty sure this is an episode of Ned's Declassified. In a team-on-team tussle, Team Rocket and Team Skull fight over trying to get a Darkium Z, which Team Rocket manages to get, but they realize they don't know how to use it. Whoops.
Those tacky uniforms tell me you're not from Alola. Where are you from?
Kanto, you masked dork!
What's a Kanto?
You're dumber than you look!
And so long, Sophocles. Oh no, Sophocles is moving, but he's not. He misunderstands Henry's parents in the middle of the night, and they are moving to a rental for a week to get repairs on their house done. And now Sophocles has to break it to his friends who have been doing really nice things for him, thinking he's leaving forever. And it's like a mid-Simpsons episode, honestly.
A glaring rivalry!
Lily's brother Gladion is visiting, who I guess is just kinda off doing stuff. Him and Ash start a rivalry of sorts and have a battle, but it's interrupted by Team Rocket. But during the battle, Ash sees Gladion's Lycanroc use a powerful Roxy move. Ash wanting to learn one for his Rockruff, Gladion tells him he can get one for it by passing the grand trial on Akala Island. And then Gladion fucks off with Lily sad her Onichan is once again gone.
Pulling out the Pokemon Base Pepper!
So remember, I have 3 kinds of episodes that I will love no matter what. One of them is cooking, and one of the other ones is about baseball. I love baseball, like baseball anime, baseball games. It's my favorite sport to play. I'm not really about watching it. Don't ask me about the actual sport. It doesn't have waifus, I don't care. In this episode, a special guest, Alulu, a baseball star, and a Snorlax are visiting the class, and Team Rocket are there as Jesse wants his autograph. But the kids don't allow it because they think it's another scheme, so they have a baseball game to see who will get the autograph. Well, I love the episode not just because of baseball, but again, the animation and jokes are on point.
Inferno Overdrive Ball!
I do feel bad for Jessie here, like she just wanted an autograph, man, but can't even get one when she's legit about it. Like, come on.
Inferno Overdrive Ball!
Singular fishing star!
And lulled to La La Land during a camp. Oh god, no. It's only one episode, but I can't do this again. I'm not going back. In the old Raisin Switch, for a class assignment, everyone switches Pokemon partners. It's cute, but most importantly, Lillie, through this all, is now able to touch Pikachu. Progress.
The Island Whisperer.
It's time for a field trip to Akala Island with the kahuna Olivia, who everyone loves, people and Pokemon. But then the rest is about some Whalmer they find on the way there. I don't really care. In Treasure Hunt Akala style, the kids go on a treasure hunt on Akala, and most of them unfortunately find nada. Except for Lana, who finds Z-Ring ore, which Olivia says she will turn into a Z-Ring for her. Lana then gets her Waterium Z in Big Sky Small Fry after passing the water trial, and then she gets her Z-Ring from Olivia. The best part of this episode, though, is this fisherman character who just keeps making shit up for no reason.
It's correct. I've been a master fisherman for 40 years. Scar is proof of our many struggles over the years. In the 50 long years that I've been a master fisherman...
50 years?
He distinctly said 40 before.
That boat has been with me the past 70 years as a master fisherman.
In a crowning moment of truth, Kiawe catches an Alolan Marowak. In currying favor and flavor, Ash and Mallow pass the grass trial, getting Ash a Gracium Z, and allowing him to now challenge Olivia.
Trials and determinations!
Ash battles Olivia in a double battle, and during it, Rockruff seems to go nuts, almost becoming feral and even attacking Rowlet. Ash manages to win though, but Rockruff's condition seems strange, and Olivia says it's actually because Rockruff is about to evolve. I guess even Pokemon go through puberty.
Rising from the ruins!
After Rockruff, feeling bad for its actions, goes off, it fights Tapu Lele. Of course, the Island Guardian just thinks they're playing, and when it's done, Olivia's Lycanroc and Gladions arrive sensing this, I guess. And Ash's Rockruff evolves into a special never-before-seen Lycanroc Dusk form. Also, speaking of Gladion, we see him again, and that he's taking care of a strange Pokemon that's hidden away. In Mimikyu Unmasked, after another failed plan, Jessie and Mimikyu land at a mall where its Pikachu disguise gets torn. Jessie tries to get it a new outfit, but it wants to remember the evil's face. So Jessie fixes it, and after that, Mimikyu now fully obeys her. Oh yeah, Mimikyu wouldn't listen to Jessie, especially when Pikachu was around. You know, that was a thing. It's over now, though. In Mallow and the Forest Teacher, when Mallow becomes overworked at our family restaurant, she runs away into the forest where she finds a restaurant owned by an Oran guru that feeds Pokemon. And after she helps out there, she learns a valuable lesson about a family or something. In Balloons, Brionne, and Belligerence, Lana meets a trainer, her Brionne, and a Naruto character, and she learns with their help to use her Waterium Z. In Mounting an Electrifying Charge, Ash and Kiawe help Sophocles win a Charge-a-Bug race so they can beat his new rival, Stuck-Up Rich Kid.
Alola, Kanto!
Class goes on another field trip to Kanto. Random. But yes, some special guests are joining, Misty and Brock, the OGs, who show the kids around Kanto.
It's the original Twerp and Twerpette trio!
What are those lowlifes doing here?
Despite this being a return of two mainstay characters, the episode's not really a lot. It's just a nostalgia trip, you know, seeing Brock, Misty, and Ash again, and of course all of Ash's Pokemon. And I'll admit, even though, for me, it's only been a couple months since I've seen them, yeah, I felt nostalgic too.
Is it that Jigglypuff?
This is awful!
He's saying too closely! When regions collide!
Again, this one's okay. The kids watch gym battles for the first time. They're not that great kids. I know, I've seen about almost 50 of them. Though Brock and Misty have some new tricks. Mega Evolution, wow. After the trip though, Professor Kui says that he's always admired Pokemon leagues in other regions, and he wants to establish one in Alola.
You can win 8 badges and I won them all!
In my case, I gave him a badge out of pity.
Say, that story has a familiar ring.
Hey Ash, what's that supposed to mean?
And yeah, that's the last episode of part 1 of Sun and Moon, and I'm enjoying it so far. Like, I know the episode recaps are just as short as Black and White and X and Y Am I Watching This, but these episodes are actually entertaining. It's just not much is happening in them, you know? It's really mostly a bunch of jokes, and, I don't think it'll make an interesting video for me to just constantly say, this episode was funny, or this episode was not funny, So I'm just gonna stick to telling you what the episode premise is about, no matter how simple it is. Like, it's really a slice of life show now. The episodes don't really connect and are more standalone than before, but they are funny, well animated, and I like the characters of Alola. They're just really nice and wholesome. I like watching them. So yeah, it's a fun series that's made quite well. But for the next 12-ish episodes, well, how about we don't do any of that, and instead have a serious arc that ties into things previously established? Yeah, I'm serious.
A dream encounter!
Hi, this is Editing Brian again in the future. It's been a while, so you might be wondering, why are the titles of this season in Spanish? I don't know, it's the kind of footage I got. All the dialogue's in English, though. It's just for some reason the titles and everything are in Spanish. So I guess if you speak Spanish, this won't be that weird to you, but just a heads up, yeah, for the entirety of just this season of Sun and Moon, it's like that. Every other season's fine. It'd be like that sometimes,
Now we're in Ultra Adventures, and that will become quickly relevant. The new theme under the Alolan Moon, I don't like. It's very boring. Like, this sounds like they're trying to be too modern, if that makes sense. But like I said, we are about to start kind of an arc here that goes on for quite some time, so try to keep up. I will not repeat myself, but I guess you could rewind the video. So Ash has a strange dream where he makes some kind of promise to the legendary Pokemon of Alola, Solgaleo and Lunala. And when he wakes up on his way to school, he finds a strange Pokemon no one has ever seen before, and Lillie nicknames it Nebby. Ash then remembers that this was the promise, that he'd protect Nebby. The appearance of this Pokemon attracts the attention of the Aether Foundation, a company that does something, but its president is Lillie's mother, Lucamine, who explains to Ash about beings known as Ultra Beasts, Pokemon-like creatures who come from ultra space, and they think Nebby is one and try to take it from Ash for research, but Ash is adamant to protect Nebby, so he refuses. Then and now you see them, now you don't, it's not really much, it's just Nebby using its teleport move to teleport the kids to fun places. Then in deceiving appearances, the kids visit the Aether Foundation and meet Lucamine again, as well as the employees, Faba, Wick, and Professor Burnett, who needs the kids' help with a Ditto. Also, Team Rocket started working there too. Good for them. In a masked warning, Ash again is teleported by Nebby to where Gladion is, and we learn that strange Pokemon he has is called Silvally, a Pokemon created to kill Ultra Beasts, and guess what Nebby is? But to find out why the hell Ash has it, he of course battles him to figure out, what's going on, and I guess he decides, I guess he can keep it. But Ash also learns from Gladion that Lillie's fear of Pokemon comes from an Ultra Beast somehow.
Night of 1,000 Poses!
Okay, so the bulk of this episode is not really tied into the arc as a whole, it's just kind of whatever. It's about the kids and Burnett, for some reason, having a sleepover at Kukui's. It's fine. The day after, though, wishing to see her brother again, Nebby teleports her to him, as we saw him do in the last episode. And when she encounters Silvally, all of a sudden, Lillie is terrified, reliving the trauma that she faced all those years ago, and is now back to square one, no longer being able to even touch Snowy. What's going on?
Mission Total Recall!
Lillie, although back to square one, wants to go back to square 5, so she tries to remember why she fears Pokemon. Faba learns of this, and he for some reason wants that to be a memory she keeps buried away, as he was the one who made Silvally. So he decides to kidnap her. Well, that escalated quickly. That's when Silvally saves her, and this triggers her remembering that Silvally actually saved her from an Ultra Beast that was due to Faba's experiments, when she was younger. And this was the event that traumatized her. And bing bang boom, now she loves Pokemon again. Getting over trauma is that easy, kids, it only takes 22 minutes.
Faba's Revenge!
So Lillie is cured now, hooray! Unfortunately for Faba, kidnapping your boss's daughter is not a good look. But don't worry, Faba's got it figured out. Kidnap Nebby, use it to open an Ultra Wormhole to summon an Ultra Beast so Lucamine will be happy. Of course, it's perfect! But damn it, the twerps show up to stop him with Lucamine and Gladion. A Nihilgeo emerges from the Ultra Wormhole, and like all those years ago, it tries to go after Lillie, but Lucamine steps in the way, dragging her into Ultra Space.
We've got to stop him! And his disguise is junk!
That matters!
Disguise is what Team Rocket does best! He's giving us a bad name!
Then in family determination, Lillie and Gladion try to go save Lucamine themselves, but everyone says, nah, we're not just fam, we're Nakama, and join them. That's pretty much all that happens. In revealing the stuff of legend after convincing all the Island Guardians to help, Nebby evolves into Solgaleo, whoa, and then use its powers to go into ultra space. Again, that's kind of all that's happening, it's moving at a snail's pace now.
Rescuing the unwilling!
The group find Lucamine now being controlled by the Ultra Beast. She tries to drive them away, but the kids are there to help her, and they do so by battling her. And they battle her, and then they battle her some more.
10 million reasons to fight!
While the gang keeps Lucamine's mind-controlled Pokemon under control, Ash and Gladion try to fight the Ultra Beast controlling her. Then, thanks to friendship, I don't remember exactly why it happens, Ash's Electrium Z transforms into a Pikachu Z, a special Pikachu Z crystal, which lets them use the move 10 million volt Thunderbolt. This defeats the Ultra Beast, saving Mommy, thank God. The world will be a darker place with one less MILF.
The Professor's new adventure!
So the day is saved, and to celebrate, Kukui and Burnett get married. Oh, that's nice. Then at the ceremony, for their help, Lucamine asks the kids to join the Ultra Task Force to help stop Ultra Beasts that are pouring into Alola now, thanks to all the Ultra Wormholes being, air. And then all the kids agree. Also, yeah, Faba still works there for some reason. We then see that Nebby is now back where it belongs in the wild as Solgaleo, and the episode ends with us seeing a mysterious purple creature now hanging around Alola. The Ultra Beast arc, or whatever you'd call it, was pretty good. Some episodes did not need to be there, some stuff really needed to be cut out, but I still enjoyed it. I'm glad Lillie's still the best girl in the anime, like in the games, but much like the games as well, Ash and his friends felt kind of forced. Anyone not involved in the whole family conflict just feels kind of there. Now it's more natural making Ash having the one with a connection to Cosmog or to Nebby instead of Lillie, which is more reason than the games gave. But after that, we're now back to the usual kind of episodes, and hey, remember when we saw Misty and Brock before, some returning original characters? Well, it's time to say hello to another returning original character that we haven't seen in quite a while. In Let Sleeping Pokemon Lie, the episode is about the kids trying to find out about Alolan Oak's Kamala, but then randomly, Jigglypuff shows up again. Yes, that Jigglypuff. And Kamala seems to be the perfect match since it's always kinda sleeping, I think. It's an okay episode. And the Dex can't help it, when a new washing machine is delivered to Kukui's, it seems to have a Rotom inside, and it kicks our Rotom out of its Dex. So now our Rotom needs to kick that Rotom out and get its home back. In fighting back the Tears, Team Rocket encounter another Marini that James' Marini was into. Then Marini evolves, not James' Marini, the other Marini. Okay, we gotta stop having episodes with two of the same Pokemon being the focus. It's really hard to describe. So the episode itself is cute. It's about Lana and Mallow and Ash finding a Drampa that helped the girls when they first met. It's adorable. The important thing is, as you can see, yes, we are here. Episode 1000. We are on the home stretch with only 4-ish seasons left and 234 episodes to go. I really cannot wait to be done. Seriously, you don't know how much of my life has been consumed by Pokemon the past year. Although after I record this, I'm going to have to edit it. It's going to be a whole other adventure. And getting a jump on the competition, heading to Ula Ula Island for the first time, Lillie finds out she's a god at Pokemon sled jumping. Well, everyone's good at something.
A mission of ultra urgency!
So it's time for the kids' first Ultra Guardians mission, and whoa, geez, okay, I get it. They probably made toys of all this shit, didn't they? These kinds of episodes are all pretty much the same. Mommy sends them on some mission to catch an Ultra Beast that is usually just kinda dicking around Alola. It's not really causing harm or anything. This one is fine. It's them trying to capture a Buzzwole. The weirdest reference in this is not the Thunderbirds one. It's when Ash makes a face that looks like Golgo 13. You know, the assassin character that murders people and fucks anything in a skirt, being directly referenced in Pokemon. Am I the only one that thinks that that's kind of fire? In acting true to form, an Alolan Meowth trolls Team Rocket and eventually becomes the Pokemon of Giovanni's secretary, Maturi. Did I ever mention her? She first showed up in Black and White during the Series era and has barely appeared since then.
Pushing the fiery envelope!
In Alola, the most popular Battle Royale trainer is a mysterious man named the Masked Royal. Who could it be? When Ash and friends go to see one of its matches, except for Kukui, who is strangely missing, they get into one of the battle royales and Ash's Litten ends up evolving into a Torracat. But seriously, who do you think this guy is behind the mask? I guess we'll never know. Wow, I wasn't expecting that because it's been a long time since we've had a banned episode of Pokemon. Obviously, realizing Pokemon is now an international affair, the Pokemon Company has become more aware of the things they put in their games and shows to make sure not to do any more accidental racist stuff, of course. Anyway, this episode, Ash does blackface, painting his face black to live with the Passimian. So, like in the late 90s with Jinx, I could understand that slipping under the radar, Mr. Popo exists. How did a bunch of Japanese artists and producers and company people that probably looked at it from other countries look at this episode and go, yeah, no problem, let's make a couple toys about it. In turning heads and training hard, the school is visited by Ilima, one of the best graduates from the school, mainly because Kukui wants him to be a part of the future Alola Pokemon League. Then some stuff happens with Team Skull, and one of them hating Ilima, I don't really care. In the next episode, Smashing with Sketch, though, it's the return of Pokemon Ping Pong, the greatest sport ever invented. Which, I'm gonna be honest, I was not expecting this to return at all.
You know, it sounds kind of familiar, but I'm not sure I get it.
Ilima enters a competition, and his rival Akari is actually pretty funny. I like him.
Oh, please! I don't know what kind of training you did in Kalos, pal, but you don't stand a snowball's chance in Well Volcano of beating me!
Also, yes, if you like anime, then you probably thought about it too when you heard Ikari. I didn't, but then I did when Kiawe does a pose that references the greatest dad in anime history. Like, first Golgo 13, then there's an Ava reference in Pokemon. I'm half expecting them to bring up Devilman or Pop Team Epic at this point.
First twirl!
So every so often we would see that mysterious purple Pokemon that showed up at the end of the Ultra Beast arc. On this episode, the gang actually interacts with it, as they figure out the name of it is Poipole, and see that they can't actually find the Ultra Wormhole that sent it here, so they have no way of sending it back. But seeing that it's formed a bond with Ash and its Pokemon, Lucamine lets Ash keep it as one of his own. In real life, Inquire Within, when the local Joy gets sick, the kids who are at the center for a field trip have to take care of things while she recovers. In Rise and Shine Starship, another Ultra Beast episode where the kids help a Celesteela go back to space. In The Young Flame Strikes Back, a real estate developer wants to buy Kiawe's family farm so he can bulldoze it and make hotels, and he tries a bunch of dirty tactics to get them to sell. So Kiawe beats him in a Pokemon battle to stop him, of course that's how these always end. Oh, he actually got arrested by Jenny for doing actual crimes? That's new. Dewpider Ascending is kinda weird. The first half is a Dewpider just kind of doing stuff, fucking around. Then it finds Lana and the kids who then help it out. What was the first half? Could they not fill a whole episode? And Sours for the Sweet, Mallow's brother returns from a journey so he can win a bread festival, so he can win the heart of Nina. She's from the Pancake Shop from the Pancake Race episode. But Nina is already engaged, breaking his heart, and he goes on another journey because he doesn't need no woman.
Why not give me a Z-Ring sometime?
When James's Marini learns a Dark-type move, Team Rocket realize that this is a great move for their Z-Crystal, but they still don't have a Z-Ring or any idea how to use it. Luckily for them, Giovanni, wanting to use the power of Z-moves, sends them to Ula Ula Island to meet Nanu, the kahuna of the island, who is apparently an associate of Team Rocket. He just tells them to fuck off, but then a Gengar steals Acerola, a friend of Nanu. Team Rocket try to save her, and seeing them help his friend, he gives them a Z-Ring, so now they can use Z-moves. And what's more, Acerola gives Jessie a special Z-Crystal for Mimikyu. And at the end, look who else is on his way to Ula Ula Island. In Tough Guy Trials, Ash arrives to battle Nanu, and he loses. Wow, you suck.
This book is all about the legend of the Blinding One. Whoa, the Blinding One? They say it's a Pokemon that shines brighter than anything else in the world.
Then he trains with the island guardian Tapu Bulu in Some Kind of Laziness, where Ash's Lycanroc no longer goes berserk when getting wet. Oh yeah, that was the thing. In a battle handoff, Team Rocket have perfected Mimikyu's Z-move and ask Nanu for help in finding Ash so they can test it against Pikachu. He doesn't care and tells them to go fuck off at an abandoned mini-mart. Then Ash shows up to challenge him again and Nanu doesn't want to, so he says before that he has to beat some trainers at the abandoned mini-mart. And I'm gonna be honest, I kinda love Nanu. I like the vibe he's got, with the way his sarcasm is and lack of giving a shit. It's the kind of energy I aspire to have.
Can't wait. What a pain. Let's see, that kid, he's here.
But where is here?
Ash beats Team Rocket and Nanu says, alright, I'll battle you, I guess. In Guiding and Awakening, Nanu again has some tricks, saying Ash can only use one Pokemon to beat his 3, and Ash uses Lycanroc and wins a 1v3, even though he lost before pretty easily. What did you train in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, kid? In Twirling with a Bang, the kids have to catch 2 Ultra Beasts, Blacephalon and Xurkitree. I was kidding! Like, this episode only came out a few months after the anime. Like, what? In Showering the World with Love, the class go on a field trip to the planetarium where Poipole befriends a Minior that just disappears after a short amount of time, like they all do. That's really short life expectancy. In Not Caving Under Pressure, on their way back from the planetarium, the kids take a shortcut through a cave, and after being separated, Lillie finds a group of Alolan Sandshrew under attack by a Tyranitar, and she decides to step up herself using Snowy and a Sandshrew to beat the Tyranitar. Wow, good for her. And for her efforts, the Sandshrew give her an Icium Z. In A Young Royal Flame Ignites, when a tag team tries to play dirty to beat the Masked Royal, Ash joins him to help, and the evil tag team is owned by that Tycoon guy from the Kiawe episode. Oh, I didn't realize he was going to be a reoccurring character. And all they want to do is dance, dance. A new class assignment is all about dancing, baby, which Mallow-Steenie seems to be really into as they learn the traditional Alolan hula. But when Team Rocket crashes the dance recital, Steenie evolves into Serena, sending them blasting off, or getting a bear nap. They don't really blast off anymore. In Dummy You Shrunk the Kids, it's, yeah, like the movie it's referencing, when Faba accidentally shrinks Ash, Lillie, and Sophocles when he's their substitute teacher. Okay, Faba is basically a joke now, he's not a threat anymore, but come on, the dude basically traumatized Lillie, kidnapped her, almost killed Lucamine, and experimented on Ultra Beasts and Pokemon. I'm just saying, he should not be around children, at least.
The shape of love to come!
Alright, so this episode is mostly foreshadowing, with Ash meeting Mina, an artist, whose Rabambi can paint the feelings of people in Pokemon. Poipole starts to get the art bug after seeing this, and eventually starts drawing some epic art that I'm sure he posted on his Tumblr. Although one of them noticeably seems to reference the Blinding One, a legendary Alolan creature. In the Long Vault Home, oh, he is like a reoccurring villain, I guess. Seems like he's showing up more than Team Rocket. In I Choose Paradise, the kids go to a water park. That's it.
Filling the light with darkness!
What is this, Kingdom Hearts? Anyway, it's a normal day in Alola, except all the adults for some reason are very tired and lethargic, so the kids have to figure out what's going on and figure out it's because of an Ultra Beast, but not any Ultra Beast, the Blinding One, a Pokemon that used to fill the world with light and birthed Alola, but it ran out and went to sleep. But then the legendary Pokemon Solgaleo and Lunala shared their light, and the Blinding One flew to the ends of the sky. Okay, this does kind of sound like a Kingdom Hearts plot. The kids aren't the only ones interested, though, as Team Rocket is as well. I mean, not Jessie and Jane, because they're also affected, but Matsuri, Giovanni's assistant, is actually on her way to Alola right now to catch the Blinding One. The Ultra Guardians, who did I ever mention their catchphrase is Alt Roger?
Ultra Guardians, off you go! Alt Roger!
A bunch of people in a room sat down and said, yeah, that sounds good. They all go to the Sun Altar again and see they're getting help from Gladion. Yeah, he's back. Oh, I realized I never mentioned what he's been doing since we last saw him. He's just been kind of going on his own island challenge, getting his own Z crystals and stuff. That's pretty much it. And that's when the legendary Pokemon Lunala appears, but it's not alone. Another Pokemon emerges, a mysterious creature, Necrozma.
Full moon and many arms!
The group quickly realized that Necrozma is the reason for all the adults being weak, because it's absorbing Ultra Energy or something. It also absorbs energy from Lunala, and try as they might, the kids can't beat it. That's when Solgaleo returns again to help its friends, but it also loses, with Necrozma dragging it back into Ultra Space. And this isn't helped by the arrival of Matsuri and our Team Rocket, who try to make sure she doesn't take all the credit for catching some legendary Pokemon. All seems lost, but Ash won't be kept down, and through determination, their Z-Rings power up and Lunala is healed.
The prism between light and darkness!
With Lunala healed, the kids go to Ultra Space to face Necrozma, while Kukui and Faba face Team Rocket. Oh yeah, all the adults are better now. In Ultra Space, the kids find Poipole's original home. There we find out it came to Alola to find a new home for its hive of Poipoles and Naganadels. We also find out that Necrozma is the Blinding One, but when it lost its light, it became that. And that light is what made Poipole's home habitable. So now the kids try to use their Z energy to give Necrozma enough light so it can turn back into the Blinding One. And, well, that didn't work, it just made it stronger. Whoops. Back in Alola, Kukui and Faba managed to beat Team Rocket, but Faba finds out during this that Kukui's battling style seems awfully familiar, and he uses an Incineroar too. Huh. Kind of like the Masked Royal. Wait, oh my god, the Masked Royal is Lana. Oh, it's actually Kukui, and Faba, it turns out, is a super fan of the Masked Royal, and he promises to keep Kukui's secret. I don't know why it's a secret in the first place, but alright. Back in Ultra Space, yeah, things aren't going so hot, but then everyone in Alola sends them their energy. Man, Spirit Bomb has influenced so many finales of anime you don't even know. And the Light of Hope, I guess, restores the Blinding One. This feels more like recharging a battery. So the day is saved, and now that its home is better, Poipole decides to leave Ash and stay in his home world. Yeah, this one story wasn't as good as the last one, kind of like the games, but it was a fun short adventure. I personally prefer the comedy episodes this season more, so back to that please. In a plethora of Pikachu, Ash, Kiawe, and his little sister Mimo, who I've never talked about, discover a trainer who loves Pikachu. She's super fucking annoying.
Wait! I think I'm going to call you Pikash, Pikamo, and Pikawe! I'm Pikash. Pikamo? That's so Pikachu!
Pikawe?
Good Pika grief.
Yeah, no thanks. In turning the other mask, getting some payoff for that Faba Kukui stuff already, when the Masked Royal is having a meet and greet, Ash and Burnett, who love the Masked Royal, want to go, but they also want Kukui to come with them. Dude, I get Ash, but why have you not told your own wife? Kukui asks Mullane from the Planet Arium episode to help him, but Faba and also James think he's stealing the mask, and after some shenanigans, Faba pretends to be the Masked Royal. He sucks at it, and so Kukui has to retake the mask up and beat some dick, and his secret is safe. And that's the season finale. Yeah, not the arc that ties into the games, it's just a dumb Faba Kukui episode. Again, even though the recaps are still short, I am loving this season. Not every episode is a banger. Personally, I'm not that into the Sophocles episodes. He's not annoying like past characters, he's just kinda boring, like he's just the stereotypical nerd, that's his whole thing. Also, Mallow's episodes aren't that great. While I love her design, they don't really give her much either. She's really friendly and obviously loves her friends, especially the girls, Lana and Lillie. But it seems any episode that should be about her is more about her family, like the one with her brother. Also, not into when the show tries to have a story. I mean, yeah, I like the one at the beginning, but the Blinding One stuff, while set up properly, I just didn't care and felt like it kind of went by fast. And Ash's Island Challenges honestly feels like filler by this point, even though it should be the main focus. I mean, kind of like when I watch other slice of life anime, I don't really want a story here, honestly. I prefer the episodes where the kids are just interacting with each other and the other Alolans just being fun characters. It's really nice and wholesome, man. Like, yeah, it doesn't make for a big, beefy episode recap since it's a premise and some jokes, but I'm having fun watching it, and I prefer that. Like, honestly, I would recommend you watch these episodes yourself. This season is fun. Finish this video first, though. I mean, you made it this far, might as well. So yeah, this is the first season of Pokemon where I want more one-off episodes, less plot. Just give me more random anime references, man. That's all I need. It's funny.
Lillier and the Staff!
It's the premiere of Ultra Legends, the final season of Sun and Moon, and the new theme, The Challenge of Life, is really good.
Rise if you're prepared for the challenge. Rise to the challenge. Rise if you're a champion at heart.
Definitely the best Sun and Moon theme, lots of tribal drums, and when that dude takes the mic.
Take my hand, we'll train as one and triumph together. Rise to the challenge.
Honestly, kind of reminds me of the Digimon Frontier theme. And hey, I was just talking about it, this is the kind of episode I want to see. And in this one, the kids put on a school play, and Lillie is the star. But Jessie, being the vain one she is, wants to be the star herself and crashes the play. Let the kids roll with it, and the play is a success. This is what I mean, you don't get the full scope of this series' wholesomeness by my descriptions. It's just nice to watch, you know what I mean? Oh, I guess you don't, that's my point. This show is all good vibes, especially when you see the parents of the kids showing up and being all supportive, including Ash's mom during the play. Like, how do you hate this? It's so pure. In A Haunted House for Everyone, it's a ghost episode, but at the school. Ooh, a twist. In Sparking Confusion, when strange magnetic activity is going on, it looks like it might be an Ultra Beast, except it super isn't, it's just a bunch of Alolan Geodude and Graveler eating rocks. In Don't Ignore the Small Stuffle, Team Rocket infiltrate Aether Paradise to steal some Pokemon, and a Stuffle that Wick took in when she found it injured begins following Team Rocket for some reason. Team Rocket are eventually found out by the twerps and are accused of trying to steal the Stuffle, which they were probably going to do, but it has been following them and they don't want it because they find it annoying. This is when Beware shows up to whisk them away to their actual joy this time, but it seems more concerned with Stuffle, as it turns out Beware is Stuffle's mother, and the two are reunited. Hey, Team Rocket did something good. I mean, it was completely by accident, and not of their own free will, but still.
No stone unturned!
Ash meets Hal, Kahuna Hala's grandson, who is also on an island challenge. The two battle, and Ash's Rowlet loses to Hal's Dartrix, but after a training arc, Rowlet wins. I don't like Hal's voice.
See, my dad and I have been away from Alola for quite a long time. We just got back, and I'm thinking I can finally take on the Island Challenge.
That's all I have to say. In Bright Light's Big Changes, when that detective show Rotom likes is filming nearby, its nerdiness points out a continuity error, and they offer it a job. This makes Ash sad. His new friend is going to be leaving, which is him being sadder than any of his other friends leaving him. But Rotom stays, of course. I mean, the season's not over.
We know where you're going, Eevee!
Okay, so since the play episode, at the end of every episode, they've been showing these shorts of an Eevee traveling through Pokemon World. And in this episode, we learn why, I guess, so Lana can catch it, nicknaming it Sandy. Not who I would have expected to catch it. Also, I legit forgot Team Skull is in this anime. They haven't done anything and are not really funny. Unfortunately, kind of a letdown.
Battling the beast within!
Guzzlord is the greatest name of any Pokemon, and I will die on this hill.
Parallel friendships!
Okay, I didn't realize when making that joke that the last one and this one are a two-parter involving Guzzlord, where Ash is randomly teleported to another dimension. Like, seriously, it just happens. There's a reason for it, but it still just happens. He meets a guy named Dia, and he has that Pokemon whose name I can never really pronounce properly, as they fight the Pokemon with the best name ever that destroyed his parallel Alola. After beating it, Dia will now rebuild, and Ash returns home. Yeah, we just had a random two-part isekai anime. Okay. Oh, and now Brock and Misty are back. That's also kind of random, as the two are here to visit on vacation, since Lana and Misty have kept in contact due to both of them being water Pokemon otaku. Now, while Misty is in Alola to visit friends, Brock has some other reasons for visiting.
Heart of fire, heart of stone!
Hey, did you know in Alola there's a hot rock-type trainer named Olivia? Brock sure does, and turns on some of the old Brock charm, which thankfully he left Krogunk home before he came here. And when she hears about how much Brock also likes rocks, she's actually kinda interested, but unfortunately the cockblockers this time are Team Rocket. And then they don't really say if Brock and Olivia continue this relationship in the episode. Like, it just kinda ends. My headcanon is Brock finally got a dub and at least went on a date with her or something. Like, come on, can my boy just get one W, Pokemon, please?
That's some spicy island research!
Great, Pokemon is referencing memes now. The class takes another field trip to Pony Island, the final island, and everyone has a research project to do. But Ash is more excited about completing his fourth and final grand trial. But there's a problem. Pony Island has no kahuna, so no grand trial. Instead, he decides to fight the island guardian, Tapu Fini, and while looking for it, he meets Hapu, a trainer/farmer. She seems to have something kinda against trials and kahunas, but Ash sees she's a pretty strong trainer, and she beats Ash in a battle, and Ash says he will train harder and win their rematch. In Showdown on Pony Island, Ash finds Gladion is also on Pony Island for the same reason he is, and the two decide to battle. And Gladion wins this one, but we do learn that Hapu is planning on becoming the next kahuna. In evolving research, so remember the other kids are doing research projects too, and during his, Sophocles' Chargebug evolves into Vikavolt, and during hers, Lana's Poplio evolves into a Brionne. In Run Heroes Run, when Ash and some of his Pokemon are trapped, Kiawe has to go get a scale from the Island Guardian to save them. He succeeds, and it turns out that this was his own personal grand trial that he had to pass, which he does. Also, Mallow does her own research project, which is a side thing involving cooking. See what I mean, man? They give her nothing. She's always just a B-plot.
Memories in the mist!
Oh. Okay, never mind what I was saying about Mallow, because out of nowhere they decided to just give her one of the best character moments in Pokemon. The trip to Pony Island is coming to an end, but then a strange mist starts up that is apparently made by the Island Guardian that lets people meet their dead loved ones. Which, yes, Torracat meets Stoutland again, which I thought was going to be the sad part. But then we see Mallow encounter her mother, who now we know is dead, and she reconciles with her, because we learned as a kid, Mallow told her mom she hated her as the last words she ever said to her before she died, because her mom would always say sorry because of how sick she was. And her ghost mom is like, no, I should have said thank you. And it's like, who's cutting onions? Hapu, you cutting onions? Like, seriously, this comes out of nowhere, but it's great. This is what I wanted for Mallow. A great moment to get me behind her as a character, besides being, you know, the grass trainer that cooks. Not to mention the animation is on point and the voice acting by Rebecca Solar. Like, man, you hear Mallow's regret in her words.
After all the things I said, I can't face her. I'm sorry, Mom, for saying I hated you. I'm so sorry.
Like, she's had sad moments in the show before, but nothing like this. That's not even the end of it, because then Mallow just finds a shaman, and now she's raising it until it can transform and fly away. But that's not even the end of it, because while most of everyone saw a dead loved one, Lillie and Gladion, who is still on the island, were expecting to see their dead dad, but neither of them did, and Hapu tells them that's probably because their dad is still alive somewhere. What? Also, Hapu becomes the Kahuna, so you know what that means. In a grand debut, Ash battles a ground type with Pikachu and wins. I hate anime logic. So yeah, Ash wins his last grand trial. And that's it. That's the island challenge. There's no big ending or anything. It's just over. Go home. And keeping your eyes on the ball, the class meet Kali, a Pokemon golfer who's in a slump recently, but after spending some time with the gang, she remembers how fun golf is and wants to continue. Another great character design wasted.
I'm a master Pokemon golf caddy. I've been at this for 40 years, which makes me a legend. As a caddy with 50 years experience...
Wait, you said you had 40 years experience!
As a caddy with 60 years experience...
60 years? That's 10 more than before!
As a master caddy for 70 years...
Ah! Huh? Oh no! Ah!
I hit it!
Yeah!
In Show Me the Medal, this was the episode I realized, holy shit, I'm almost done. Because in this episode, the class meet Meltan, a Pokemon so recent I remember all the hype with Pokemon Go and shit. In Got Meltan, Ash finds that one of the Meltan has formed a friendship with Rowlet, and even though it can go back with its friends, it stays with Ash, making it his newest Pokemon. In this magic moment, the kids tour a TV studio, and Mallow, Lana, and Lillie become magical girls. I'm not even surprised at these references anymore. And Beauty is only crystal deep, the Ultra Beast Pheromosa is going around stealing Z-crystals, and hearts, as Meowth once again becomes down bad. Dude, ever hear of masturbating?
Looks like we caught a Meowth instead.
Big fail.
The Dealer of Destruction!
Well, it's official, Kukui has announced the first ever Alolan Pokemon League, where anyone can enter, including Guzma, the leader of Team Skull, who seems to have a past with Kukui and vows to destroy this stupid league. Once again, I still forgot about Team Skull, and honestly, it's been so long that I didn't expect Guzma or Plumeria to show up in this show, but better late than never, I guess.
The Secret Princess!
Oh yeah, Lillie and Gladion found out their dead dad isn't actually dead. What's up with that? Well, it turns out that he was sucked into an ultra wormhole once and was presumed dead, but apparently he's still out there alive somewhere. A family with no last name start digging through Moan's research, that's his name, and discover that all of his Pokemon ran away due to grief after his loss. They also discover a Magearna that's not functioning that Moan was fixing up to give to Lillie one day, as well as his Z-Ring that Lillie takes. So now, filled with determination, the Aether Foundation begins searching for Moan while Gladion tries to find his Pokemon, and Lillie tries to restore Magearna. Good to see even in the anime, Lillie is still one of the best characters. In Drawn with the Wind, the class visit Mali City, and after a Team Rocket scheme, they learn of a gym located there in the style of one of Kanto. Then in aiming for the top floor, the kids challenge the Cantonian gym, with Ash being the victor overall. In a High-Speed Awakening, another Sophocles episode with a race. It's okay. Sophocles wins the race and gets a Z-Crystal, as well as his own Z-Ring. In the one that didn't get away, Lana meets Kyogre, what the fuck, and her and the kids save it from some Pokemon hunters. But Kyogre is still raging, that's when Brionne evolves into Primarina, and its singing calms it. That came out of nowhere. In A Recipe for Success, Mallow heads back to that Oranguru restaurant and ends up helping out again. And after serving a meal to Tapu Koko, she gets a Z-Crystal from it and a Z-Ring from Oranguru for helping out. So yeah, with all the evolutions and the Z-Ring and Z-Crystal getting, the lead coming up, you can see where they're building up to. In spying for the big guy, Team Rocket not making any progress, lie and say that they captured Beware, and not the other way around. And Matsuri comes to Alola to get it personally, so they have to figure out a way to trick her into thinking they're actually doing their jobs.
As a member of Team Rocket, the least you can do is stay cool, calm, and collected, and try to make intelligent decisions.
Yeah.
In a fiery training camp, Ash and Kiawe help train Sophocles to use a Z-move, which he does. In Living on the Cutting Edge, something has been going around cutting things in Alola, and it turns out to be an Ultra Beast, Kartana, and then it saves the school from a meteor that was going to crash into it? What? In a Timeless Encounter, back to some casual time travel, when a Celebi? Man, there's a lot of legendaries showing up this season. Oh, right. It sends Ash and Torracat back in time, where Ash meets a child Kukui, and through wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff, Ash is the one that actually inspires Kukui as a kid to dream of an Alolan Pokemon League. Also, we get to Fire Z Crystal. There are now canonically 2 Pokemon professors Ash has met through time travel, with Celebi specifically. It's crazy that it's happened twice, right? In Pikachu's exciting adventure, this episode is actually kind of interesting as it shows what Ash's other Pokemon did when he was sent back in time, as they go on an adventure to find him. It's cool. I kind of like how it connects to the last episode in some way. Other than that, it's kind of like a longer Pikachu short. In Chasing Memories, Creating Dreams, it's time for the first ever Alolan Pokemon League to start, and everyone's excited as the winner won't just be the first Alola champion, but will also get an exhibition match against the Masked Royal himself. Wow. But before that, Gladion is still searching for his dad somewhere and manages to find his Zoroark and convinces it to join his team to look for his dad. But first he heads back to Alola to compete in the league himself.
League of Fenders and Defenders!
Okay, so this is a long conference, and as much as I love Sun and Moon, and I think the animation and battles have gotten better, after all this time I still don't care much about these battles though, because, you know, everyone here are friends besides Team Skull. There's no real consequence for anyone losing, and there's not really a clash of ideologies with the fights besides anyone who fights against Guzma, I guess. So, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here. We do find out in this episode why Guzma hates Kukui, that they both were apprentices to Hala, and Guzma rejected the Alolan traditions, and left to prove he can win without Z moves. That's it. Not gonna lie, that's a pretty weak backstory, like I seriously don't care. Anyway, the conference officially begins, and all of the warriors are here. Ash, Kiawe, Lillie, Sophocles, Mallow, Lana, Gladion, Hal, forgot about him, Team Rocket, Guzma, Plumeria, Ilima, also forgot about him, and Alolan Oak are here. Who will be the first Alolan champion? Well, that was a lot of characters I listed, so let's get rid of some of them with Fortnite. A battle royale. Throw a bunch of trainers together in a ring and have them punch each other till none can fight anymore. But after the dust settles, we have our top 16, along with the matchups. Ash vs. Faba, Ilima vs. Guzma, Hal vs. Alolan Oak, Mallow vs. Lana, Sophocles vs. Mina, Jesse vs. James, Kiawe vs. Acerola, and Lillie vs. Gladion.
Battling Besties!
So as the name suggests, the focus is mostly on Mallow and Lana's match since the two have been shown to be the closest through the series, and honestly it is great. With Mallow not having the confidence to win, she almost gives up, but Lana encourages her to see it through, letting Mallow perform a Z-move for the first time, although Lana is the one to win overall. Again, not an amazing fight, but it's still wholesome. I liked it. Power of friendship. Also in this episode, Ash beats Faba, Guzma beats Ilima, and Hal beats Alolan Oak.
The battlefield of truth and love!
And nothing as good happens in this one. Even the fight between Jesse and James is okay. James wins that one. I was more interested in Lillie versus Gladion, where obviously Gladion wins, but it's great to see how far Lillie has come in the show from not liking Pokemon at all to making it to the top 16 of a Pokemon League. I also love just how supportive Lucamine is in this show. It makes her so much hotter, a better character. Why am I keeping this up? I want to fuck her. Also, Sophocles beats Mina and Kiawe beats Acerola. Now the top 8 is Gladion versus James, Ash versus Hal, Kiawe versus Sophocles, and Guzma versus Lana. In Imitation is the sincerest form of strategy, Gladion beats James, again expected, and Ash starts his battle with Hal. Then in Battling on the Wing, Ash beats Hal, and Kiawe versus Sophocles starts. Then in the road to the semi-finals, Kiawe beats Sophocles, and Guzma beats Lana, so now it's the top 4, with Kiawe up against Gladion and Ash up against Guzma. In the final 4, Kiawe begins his fight against Gladion. Then in Getting Down to the Ire, Gladion beats Kiawe, and then Ash vs. Guzma begins.
The wisdom not to run!
So again, the fights are cool to look at, but until Ash vs. Guzma begins. This being the first one where it actually matters which character wins, especially since Ash's battling style and demeanor reminds Guzma of Kukui. And despite Guzma being undefeated so far through the tournament, Ash takes the win, but Guzma realizes he doesn't have to prove he can do things on his own anymore, because he has Nakama in Team Skull. But forget about that, because now it's the grand finals with Ash versus Gladion, which you remember, Ash has never won against Gladion.
Final rivals!
Finals begin, and Ash has a surprise, as his Meltan has evolved into Melmetal, and it easily gets taken out. F. Also, Cantoni and Oak and Ash's mom show up to watch the finals too. Neat.
Enter the champion!
Well, friends, it's been a long, hard road, hasn't it? We've seen him make top 16, top 8, even top 4 at one point. But he's never won. Until today. As Ash beats Gladion and manages to not only become Alola's first champion, but yes, this is the first time Ash has won a Pokemon League conference. Yeah, technically his first league victory was in the Orange League, but this is the first one that matters.
What just happened?
You won. Congratulations, champion.
Thanks, Gladion.
So now it's time for Ash versus the Master Warrior. What the hell is that?
Z-Move Showdown!
Okay, so out of nowhere an Ultra Wormhole opens up and a bunch of Guzzlord come out. Okay, then Ash's Poipole shows up to help, showing it's evolved into a Naganadel. Okay, and the Alolans manage to win and save the day, but the fight rips off the Master Royal's mask, revealing to everyone it's Kukui. Okay, this episode felt really unnecessary. Let's get to the final match, please.
Exhibition Unmasked!
I'm a complete failure as a fan. We've been married and living together, and I had absolutely no idea.
I mean, you really should have known, lady. You see both their chests every day. Now it's Ash versus Kukui, and Ash adds Naganadel to its team for this. Now look, again, this is a cool looking battle, but it's 3 parts and we are almost at the end of this whole thing, so I'm not going to recap it battle by battle since, again, it doesn't matter much who wins this. In a full battle bounty, the battle just continues. Then, in fiery surprises, 2 things happen. Ash's Torracat evolves into Incineroar, and to fill in for Kukui's last Pokemon, Tapu Koko joins the battle.
From Z to Shining Z!
So it all comes down to this, Pikachu versus Tapu Koko. It sure is epic, and after a clash of Z moves, Tapu Koko loses. And yes, Ash has won, becoming the official best trainer in Alola. Wow. It's been 1,085 episodes, but for the first time, Ash can call himself the best trainer in a region. It's been 1,085 episodes, but for the first time, Ash can call himself the strongest.
We actually won. Hey, buddy. We won the whole thing. Hey, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Damn, it's like watching my own kid achieve his dream. I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
Dreams of the Sun and Moon!
Well, with the first Alola League done, what happens next? Well, everyone has something different. Kiawe, Malo, and Lana are all staying in Alola for their own reasons. Sophocles, though, is going to Hoenn, Moss Deep City, to achieve his dream of becoming an astronaut. Lillie herself manages to get Magearna working finally, and with this, her, Lucamine, and Gladion decide to travel the world so they can find Moan. And finally, Ash, after getting some advice from Olivia on what to do next, thinks it would be best to learn a lot about the outside world, so he decides to return to Pallet Town once again, and then after that, without really having a destination to go to, he's just going to travel the world. And now, the finale of Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Thank you, Alola! The journey continues!
Well, it's sad goodbyes all around. Lillie is leaving with her family, Sophocles is leaving for Hoenn, and Ash is leaving to continue his dream of becoming a Pokemon Master.
And have a lot of Pokemon battles and get stronger and stronger. Someday, I'll do what I set out to do. Become a Pokemon Master!
Oh, and that Shaman Mallow was raising leaves too, that was the thing. Team Rocket as well decide to head back to Kanto, of course, and after one final goodbye to his friends, Ash returns to Pallet Town for one last time, with just Pikachu by his side, leaving his Alola Pokemon and Rotom Dex behind. Also, apparently Burnett is pregnant? Alright, Kukui.
Alola surprise! Come back soon!
So that was Pokemon Sun and Moon, and do I have to say it again? I loved it. I honestly think it replaces Diamond and Pearl as my favorite Pokemon series. While I think Diamond and Pearl has the better writing, the better story, the better character development, Pokemon Sun and Moon just encapsulates what I think of Pokemon. This anime is what I want from a Pokemon anime. It's fun, wholesome, all the characters are likable and funny, but can get deep and introspective when they need to. The animation is amazing, it's funny, and overall, I had a great time watching it, and I was honestly the most sad at the end of this series, because I loved these characters. Legit, this is my favorite supporting cast in Pokemon. I'm going to miss them. Well, sure, some of them didn't get enough spotlight to me, and I don't love everyone. At the end of the day, this was the most entertained I've been watching Pokemon. And look, I get people want drama and intrigue and some dark element in shows, especially with kids shows, because that's what makes them good. I disagree. Sure, I can love and appreciate that stuff as an adult, like especially when it happens in stuff like Diamond and Pearl, but for a franchise that has always and forever will be for kids, I think Sun and Moon is the best one. Because you can enjoy it as a kid as a fun Pokemon show, but as an adult, you can look at it and appreciate all the more mature moments in it. And it doesn't have to be serious and tell a story all the time. Honestly, to me, when it's more lighthearted and it doesn't really focus on a story and characters and stuff like that, when it does go into that, it just makes it hit all the more harder, Kind of like when a sitcom has a dramatic moment out of nowhere, it just hits you all that more harder because you're used to it being funny. Honestly, I could watch this series anytime. Like, I could turn on a random episode, even if it's one I'm not into, and still enjoy it because I love these characters and Alola. It was a fun time. I don't know what else to say about it. But trainers, while it was fun, it's time. If you've made it this far, congratulations, as this is it. The final series and the last 3, technically 4, seasons of Pokemon. We are here. The end of Ash's journey. So let's not waste time. We've come this far. Why not go on one more journey and see how it ends in, appropriately, Pokemon Journeys, the series.
Enter Pikachu!